Something different, something fresh.
Here we go, part 3, making a mixtape cover tutorial. This time we're going to be focusing on the elements. The elements are the meat and potatoes of your album art. That's going to be like the picture of yourself, maybe some cars, maybe some money, you know, all that good stuff that goes on a cover. So let's get right to it. Get myself out the way again. Right, here we go. So what you want to do is go ahead and open up your favorite browser, and you want to go to this website, officialpsds.com, and just in case you didn't catch that, it's spelled just like that, official PSDs. Okay, load that up. Now it's been kind of buggy lately. Like you'll get a little error message screen every now and again. Just try it again, and normally it'll work the second time you try. So this website is all user-generated imagery. So these are a bunch of different users. You can see who submitted what, and they go ahead and they cut out the people for you. So all these images have no backgrounds to them. They're Photoshop files. You see, you got like the lady here. You got these like camo lips with a bullet, gold balloons, your favorite rappers, Kodak Black, Lil Yachty, things like that. I went ahead and grabbed a couple off the front, and I'm going to use those today. I went ahead and put them in a folder for you guys already, but pretty much how you would use it is you would come here. Let's say you like the camo lady, the camo lips here with a bullet. You just come in, click download PSD. You'll get this pop-up window, and you just click download. It's going to download to your computer as a zip file. So you just want to use any unzip program. Like if you're on a Windows, you'll probably use like WinZip. Mac has a built-in program that does that for you. So it'll go right to your downloads folder. Just come to that, click on the zip file, and you'll see it just unzipped it for me. Put it right here in my downloads, and there it is, ready to go. So if I were to like click on this, it pops up. Normally the person that uploaded the image, if they're consistently uploading images on official PSDs, they'll have their tag here. So this one is by Urbano Kings. I like a lot of his stuff. I like Urbano Kings, Club PSD, and Mixtape PSD. They do like the best cuts for me anyway. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones on there. Mixtape PSD is my favorite by far. I've actually like hit him up before and was like, hey, keep doing what you're doing, I love your content. And he was like, I want to put some more stuff on there today. And you know, he's real solid. So anyway, there's that tidbit. So remember, it's official PSDs. Download the 3, 4, 5 images that you want to put on the cover, and go ahead and unzip them, and they're ready to use. Alright, so I put everything that I grabbed off official PSDs today in this folder, and you'll see they still got their tags on them from the people that uploaded them, most of them. And I'm going to go ahead and start with my favorite guy, which is Mixtape PSD. Check out his website, mixtapepsd.com. It has a lot of cool stuff on it. Let me go ahead and fix this window real quick so it stays on top. There we go. So the time bomb, you can just drag and drop this right into your composition, and being that it's a PSD file, it's going to let you stretch it out pretty big before pixelating or anything like that. Okay, now these, since they are PSD files, they come in as a smart image, meaning that you cannot edit them. If I went to like erase this name here, mixtapepsd.com, it's not going to let me erase it. So you got to remember from last video, we're going to right click on that layer and go to rasterize layer, and then you can go ahead and just use your eraser, get rid of that. For a real clean one, if you want to really cleanly erase it, I like to use, let me show you that tool. This tool here, it's called the polygonal lasso tool. Just means that the lasso works in straight lines, polygons, you know. So you come in here, kind of create this shape around it, and then you want to close it. So wherever you started, just go all the way around to where you started, and then you'll get this little circle icon next to it. You see that little circle? That means it's going to close it. So boom, and you get these little dotted lines, the marching ants. Now you just hit delete or backspace, and there you go, clean cut. Notice it didn't cut the background out, it didn't cut out anything else, because I'm only highlighting this layer. So that's how Photoshop works. Whatever layer you're on is the one you're editing. So there you go, got the time bomb in there. Next, I'm going to go ahead and throw in this Lambo. Everybody likes a Lambo. And you notice it's already clean cut, no background on it. It's a PSD file, it's a smart image. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll just hit Command T on a Mac, Control T if you're on a PC. That allows you to transform. That's what the T stands for. Command transform, Control transform. So if you notice, it's going the same direction as my dynamite there, and my dynamite has a timer on it, so I can't really flip that around because the timer will be obviously backwards. The car, on the other hand, I can flip this horizontally, so they're like kind of back to back. Now, while this transform box is on here, all I need to do is right click, hit flip horizontal, and then I can go ahead and get this to the size I want. This is the cool thing about working with Photoshop and working on mixtape graphics in general, regardless of whatever editor you're using, is that you get to have fun with it. There's you can do all kind of stuff. Like this car is much bigger than the dynamite in real life, but it's a mixtape cover, so you just get to have fun with it. Now, if you haven't caught on by now, Photoshop works just like if you were putting together like a collage on paper, right? You got your background paper, like your construction paper, and then maybe some picture. So whatever's on the bottom is in the back, whatever's on the top is in the front. So I want to put this Lambo behind the dynamite, so I'm going to go ahead and just drag from here, drag it down, boom, there you go. And we're going to leave a little space here on the sides, just like that. That looks good. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add in this money here. This is by clubpsd.com, another good website, another good uploader on official PSDs. They tag themselves so you can visit their websites and see the cool stuff that they have on there. They have great content. They have like Photoshop templates already ready to go for like flyers and stuff like that. Go ahead and check those guys out. Anyway, take the money and move it down because I want it in the back, and we're going to rasterize the layer like last time. I'm going to use my polygon tool here. Zoom in so you can see why I use this. Is why I like to use a polygon tool, because you could get in real tight areas with it. And then that's how we'll remove the logo. Delete. If you want, when you want to get rid of the marching ants, you're going to hit Command D. That stands for deselect, or Control D on a Windows machine. Go ahead and back out of here. So now you see we got 3 cuts out of official PSDs ready to go. The last one you're going to put in here is going to be this guy here. He's probably real famous and whatever music he makes. I'm not familiar with him. I'm sure somebody in the comments will be like, "You don't know who Kasu Lela is?" I don't know that dude. So again, we're going to go ahead and rasterize the layer so I can edit. Draw my polygon lasso tool around his logo, Urbano Kings. Delete. Then Command D to deselect. Now this guy's ready to go. I'm going to just hit Command T to transform, Control T on a PC, and we're just going to scale them down to whatever we want. I want them to be kind of like that. Now, another cool thing is you can move multiple layers at once. So I want these to come down to about here. So how I'll do that is I'll click my time bomb. You see I got the time bomb, the Lambo, the guy, and the money. Just hit Shift and click on the last of the 4 objects, and it'll highlight everything in between. Or if you wanted to, you can hold down Command or Control on a PC and select each layer you want to move. Now, have all 4 of those selected. I'm going to go ahead and hit the transform option, which is Command T, Control T on a PC. I've got to keep reiterating that. And that's about where we'll have them, about right there. Cool. Now, so I'd like to go ahead and just make sure that these are all titled so I know what's what, keep everything organized. Here we go. And I'm going to show you how to group things now so that it'll be even, so you don't have like just a bunch of layers going down. So the red background, the little texture over it, and Las Vegas are all part of the background pretty much, right? So we'll go ahead and do the same trick. Click the first object, shift down to the last one, and select it. They all group together. Then you're going to do Command G. That stands for group, or Control G on a PC. And there we got a group. And I can title that group. I can say background stuff. And these guys, we can go ahead and group these. And I'll call this the elements. Pardon me. Pardon me twice. Okay, now we have all our elements in there. The last thing I want to show you on this tutorial, this is not something you have to do, but it's pretty cool. It's a feature I use called Topaz Labs Detail. It's a plugin for Photoshop. It's about 40 bucks, which is a good price because like you get there's no subscription fee or anything like that. It's just 40 bucks flat. I'll probably put the link to it in the description of this video, and you'll see here how what we'll do with it is see how his skin looks. Like nothing wrong with the guy. He's good to go. Like he doesn't have any like major, like he's not missing an eye or nothing. But it makes it pop. So with the man selected, we're going to go up here to filter and go down to this option, Topaz Labs. That's where the plugin shows up. One thing to note, Topaz Labs only works with RGB, so it'll be for your web flyers. So Topaz Labs Detail, and the plugin, you'll see it pop up down here, and it'll take me to this screen. Don't pay attention to the little white stuff on the outside. That just happens with Topaz Labs. It doesn't mean that it's going to be in the final picture. I only use this one. Out of the presets that are here, I only use Overall Detail Strong 2. And over here on the right, you can kind of play around with how strong the detail is, how strong the small details are, how strong the medium details are, and how strong the large details are. You don't have to worry about being super savvy with this. I just kind of boost everything a little. Play around with it. And then you just hit apply. And OK. Now you'll see he looks a lot more detailed on the cover, just so you can kind of see what he looks like without it. That's how he used to look. I just hit Command Z to back up, by the way. If I want to go back, I can just go to up here to this edit, redo Topaz Detail, and see the difference. He has way more detail to him, a lot more pop. So Topaz Labs Detail 3, that is an awesome program, an awesome plugin. Highly recommend it. They have a free trial. It's 40 bucks if you want to buy it in full. Okay, so that's pretty much most of our elements. The last thing we're going to do is do the shadow. So what I like to do to make the shadow is, like, because there's going to be 3-4 ways to do everything in Photoshop. I'm going to show you my way. I don't need to worry about the shadow for the guy or the money because I'm doing a shadow underneath the bottom here. We're just going to worry about the shadow for the dynamite and for the car. So I'll take the dynamite, take the car, hold down Option, and you'll see that it lets, what I'm doing here is it's letting me copy the layers. And I'm going to copy them, move them to the bottom. So you see now I have the original and the copies. There we go. So I'll take these two guys here and I'm going to merge them together so they'll just be one complete picture. So highlight the dynamite, highlight the car, right click, select merge layers. Now they're together. So next thing we're going to do is make these completely black since they're going to be shadows. Effects, color overlay, select the color and go all the way down to black. Now the next thing we're going to do is bring them down a little bit so they'll be underneath. You see that? Boom. Now some people would stop there, but it doesn't look like a clean shadow. Shadow kind of has like a little fuzzy edges around it, you know what I mean? So what we're going to do is go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur, and in here we can go ahead and change the angle of the shadow, or the blur rather, and how much it's going to blur. see if we turn it way up. The angle. Kind of play around with it. And so it looks like right around here is my best option. Now you see that shadow looks a lot better than just like a straight copy. So have that, and you can Command T, Control T, whichever, and you can move it down a little more if you want, move it up a little more if you want. That's my favorite way to create shadows. There's a lot of different ways to do it. You can use the effects tools in here, but that's my favorite way, is to just copy whatever's there, color overlay it in black, merge them if you have to, and then put a blur on it. Motion blur. Remember that. Alright, so that's it for the elements portion of the tutorial. The next portion of the tutorial, we're going to focus on the text. That's also very important, because if you got some cheesy fonts, some BS like stock font Arial, you know, Helvetica, like nobody's going to pay attention to your mixtape. Your mixtape needs to have dope fonts. So that'll be the next tutorial. Again, my name is Bray with Skylee Graphics. Thanks for watching, and subscribe.